We are into our second game here. It's Mirage. Gaimin Gladiators get their map pick after managing to eke out the victory on Inferno. So let's see what they can do here. Seems like we're going to get a really fast play to kick things off. A little B-rush, a little brush. See if it's a brush with death or success. And on they go. Initial pick found. Hitman, though. The clutch man himself takes two. Keeps the numbers even. This bomb will likely be going down, though it's been dropped outside of apartments, and eventually Gaimin Gladiators will figure that out and get it planted. Carson taking responsibility for it. Catwalk taken. That's a big skill to find, and okay, George will just kill everybody.
What? George makes it look easy there from long range with the Glock. Gets all three. No fuss, no muss. Gaimin Gladiators are up 1-0. Great flashbang thrown on the entry by the Gaimin Gladiators. In fact, I'm surprised Hitman even gets away from it and has a chance to recover to find that 2K and make the round almost interesting for Unjustified. But Gaimin quickly gain control, and let's not forget, this is their home turf. They love playing on Mirage. So despite, as I mentioned, those two very rough matches they had against the Party Astronauts and of course Liquid, this one should be a little better for them, let's say. Anyway, still in the early goings. First round looking pretty good, though. 4 Deagles and the Scout here for Unjustified. Over on the Gaimin Gladiators, 3 AKs and the 2 MAC-10. So the Force Buy is attempted here by Unjustified. 2 players on the A site, and it looks like that's where Gaimin Gladiators are going to pinch into. And Sloopy tries to make some more magic happen with that Deagle, as he did on Inferno, but this time doesn't connect on anything and takes more damage than he delivers.
So a sloop is a particular kind of sailboat, John.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so, and I mean, Snoopy is the dog from Peanuts. So I like to imagine that Sloopy is just a sailor version of Snoopy, where instead of, you know, the Red Baron shenanigans that Snoopy gets up to, Sloopy's out on the boat.
What's he doing on the boat?
Just chill. Sailing. What does anyone do on a boat? Sailboat. Okay. Chill.
Is he a pirate?
Enjoy your life.
No?
Piracy is hard to get away with under sail power these days. It's tricky to make work, shall we say.
Well, Sloopy can do it, Mike.
Sloopy can do it. Sloopy's gonna go for modern-day piracy on a sailboat. My dad joked that was gonna be his retirement plan. Because, you know, no one would expect a pirate on, like, a day sailor sailboat coming out to seize a tanker.
There you go.
Element of surprise.
That's it.
Never followed through with that one, fortunately.
Oh, man. By the way, Carson has my dream knife. Oh, boy, that's a beauty.
Is it? What is this? It's butterfly.
This is the butterfly Doppler phase 3 or 4. I can't remember the phase, but it's the one just has that really nice blue and green.
Yeah. What does that one run?
I think it's around 1,500 to 2,000.
Less egregious than it could be.
Yeah.
Still pretty egregious, but you know.
It's not that bad. It's not as bad as the Doppler rubies, right? Or the sapphires are like 15,000. So, yeah, they get expensive.
I want a butter knife skin. It's like a plastic butter knife.
I thought you were abbreviating butterfly knife for a moment.
No.
But I want a
plastic butterfly knife. Or not even a butterfly knife. I want a plastic, just like, you know, picnic utensil skin. I think that'd be sick.
I think you're in the wrong game, Mike.
Yeah, I need to go play TF2.
Yes.
A little bit of a stack on towards B. A stack that, well, it wasn't discovered because J.S. Feltner's the only one who's been seen. Otherwise, you'd see Gaimin Gladiators reacting a little bit more. They will group the bomb and move on towards A. And as Carson advances further in towards the site, just text no resistance. This could be all right. They did just get the MAC-10, so it's not like they found anything major in the firepower department. They're rotating. They are rotating through. Is Unjustified going to be in position to make anything of this round? That I don't know. But as the smoke fades towards Ticket, they could get a little spicy with it. Cynic planting. No one's got eyes on Ticket. No one's got eyes on Ticket. He's getting tagged from Catwalk. Can they punish? No. I think the window's been missed.
Yeah. I mean, they had a nice opening frag, but now all 3 players stacked up. They're going to have to make a power play immediately using the smoke potentially, but no, it's already too late. B-Wills gets the frag onto JS Feltner. Hitman peeking back and forth, trying to draw Cynic out here, and they could get the frag on him. There it is. Unfortunately for them, B-Wills is right around the corner, says, how do you do? and takes down Hitman and Cyrix. That's going to give Gaimin Gladiators a 3-0 lead, which you would expect off their pistol round victory. But here come the rifles for Unjustified. 4 A1Ss and the big green in Cyrix's hands. You have to imagine that he's going to be posting up towards Ticket.
You'd be imagining wrong.
Okay.
Fast cat.
What? Okay, sure. Why not? That
Gets
works
the jump.
too.
Not the shot, though. Lets him know he's here. Backs away. Tried to go for the flash timing shot. Didn't have the timing.
Okay, so he's going to be posting up more on Cat's side. Interesting.
At least for now, in this round.
Yeah.
We don't have a sample size enough to draw conclusions from. But that's going to be the initial spot. Mid control being taken here. It is just the op to peer on in. JS Felton is wary of someone getting boosted in towards window, but he's got responsibility for connector as well, so he'll be a mite bit distracted here. And now with the smoke off, Cyrix is flash into the fight? No. He thinks they might be getting window. Wants to be in position to punish that at the very least, but this is going to finish A. Everyone's postured for it. Now George will attempt to slip on out, and it seems like he's been able to. That's a big spot. He's got that foothold now. Can he get this initial kill as a result? Yes, he can. And Feltner doesn't get the trade. That's a bit of a blunder. Missed opportunity. With Sloopy dropping towards Firebox, this could just turn into a save. It frankly should turn into a save, but I don't know that Cyrix is going to get away from this. He's past the ankle, and he's out.
Lucky twice. Will it be 3 times? Again, yes. He's still alive. I don't think he can get out of this position, though. He's really managing to dodge the bullets. Finally, Cynic is going to end him. And now the bad news is that Cyrix was inching towards Hitman, who now has to show himself and at least gets 1, but it's only 1. Cynic drops 2, and that's going to make it 4-0 in favor of the Gaimin Gladiators. And you have to wonder, maybe starting on T side is a better thing for them, right? Because they immediately get to kind of use that aggressive style to their advantage.
Yeah, certainly. I also just think they did settle down a lot over the course of that Inferno game.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's a big piece of it is... I don't know what was going on early on, but they just did not seem to be rustled, which is weird. Usually teams wait until they're actually tilted in the game to be rustled.
Right.
But no, they started ruffled, kerfuffled, and settled. Which, hey, I mean, it's the better direction to go, right? So,
Well, yeah.
all good so far. See if these Deagles can do something. Nice bit of movement from Carson. He's been practicing his KZ. And while he is down for the count, this is a site taken. Problem is, look, the bomb's in spawn. So Gaimin is going to have to go on an adventure just to get back towards the bomb, and in the meantime, they might get harassed from the window, or they might all die.
They will all die.
They will all die. The Unjustified players, that is.
Yes, of course. But surprised to see the bomb just sitting there in spawn. And I guess Gaimin realized at the last second, oh, we don't have the bomb. So they said, okay, forget the bomb. Let's just go for the frags. They're on an eco anyway.
I mean, on a Mirage round, right, it's not that unusual because you don't know which site you're going to finish. And so you sort of leave bomb, and then whoever the swing rotator is goes back and get it.
They didn't have...
Just Gaimin got so far into sight.
Yeah.
And no one was left to be like, oh, I was supposed to be the swing rotator? Yeah, I can't do that anymore. I am too far forward.
Yeah, I think it was George that would have been that swing, but you're right, he was too far forward. Cynic is going to get the opener here on JS Feltner. That's a wicked shot. Cyrix does get the trade, and he is again playing towards...
All right,
no,
here we go.
this time. There he goes. That's where he thought he was going to play at the beginning, and he gets himself a 2K.
Man advantage here. Sloopy, though, has been left on an island, and Sloopy has had his bell rung. So now Cyrix is the only player towards this side of the map, though once again, even if they advance in towards the site, they don't actually have the bomb. So Carson's going to go fix that. Got to be a little bit wary. Theoretically, the flank could have been pushed. Unjustified haven't shown a predilection for flank pushing just yet. At some point, it might come through, and in the meantime, some of their footholds on site may have been given up. Spots there. Jasper's trying to give a haircut. If someone were in jungle, nobody would be watching this. This could be bad, and now it's all onto Jasper. It's fallen apart. That's a tag. Somehow Cyrix lives with 1 HP. But Jasper is low. He's isolated from the bomb, and he's been dropped entirely That is a huge missed opportunity from the Gaimin Gladiators. They had the control. They had the site. They just didn't have the bomb.
At a certain point, take the bomb with you. Like, please stop leaving it behind for so long and just take it with you, because if you are going to leave it behind, at least have one player throwing utility for you at the back lines, and he'll be the one to go and grab that bomb while you're going for your execute. Instead, no one is there again, and the Gaimin Gladiators leave the bomb there for too long, and all that control, like you mentioned, Mike, that they had of the A site for naught, because they lose the round. Still, it's been a hot start for them. They're up 5-1. They still have a chance to redeem themselves here with another full-on buy-up. B-Wills decides better of pushing out a Palace, though, and he's going to back off. And look at that. The bomb is now picked up and on the back of Carson as he's going to join his teammate. That's Jaspim towards top mid, which Unjustified appears to be giving them. As mentioned, Cyrix was playing the op on that A site, but now he's on B. I think they're just trying to keep Gaimin Gladiators on their toes, right? Because he's been at Cat, he's been on B, and of course a Ticket, Mike. They want to keep them guessing as to where the big green will end up. And you see the Gaimin Gladiators. This looks like a B pinch to me. You got a couple of players coming through the B apartments, and the other three are pinching up Cat. The smokes are good, so here they come.
Here comes the hit. No one's watching Catwalk. No one's got that responsibility. Now Hitman goes for it, but Cyrix is going to get caught out. That's the problem. The op was focused in towards apartments without that vision. Catwalk, they let them get far too close, knocking on the door, kicking that door in, and this is going to have to be a save for Unjustified. They got no cash in reserve. They're backing away with these two rifles, and that's a nice, fast-paced round from Gaimin Gladiators. Attack from two fronts, and Unjustified were really only massively prepared for one.
Yeah, they both got caught looking the same way. Simple as that. And no one covering Cat, which is where Gaimin Gladiators had the brunt of their attack coming from. So that's Cyrix isolated to only one frag this round as opposed to 3 from the round before. And the Gaimin Gladiators right back to their winning ways, and it honestly wasn't expensive at all. They only lost George, and they still had money to spare even after this buy-up. So their bank accounts continue to improve, as you would expect, with the 6-1 lead. Unjustified, at the very least, will escape with these two rifles, and they should be able to fully invest as well into this round. Loss bonus back to 3,400 was 2,900 for this round, but drop the guns around, a little creative accounting, and you'll get the buy-up in the utility.
Dot the I's, cross the T's, move some numbers here, empty out the vault there. Buy Twitter here.
Man.
That's how that works now, right?
I guess so.
And they're going to make it work. It's crazy when you think about like the concept of how people move those amounts of money.
It's
like
insane.
It's based on a loan. It's based on his ownership of a different company. That's based on the value of that company's stock and 3 different things. And it's like, this is just, the money doesn't exist. You know, it's fictional money at that point.
It's just investments and shares, and
The world's a crazy place, man.
It is.
We just need to all return to dirt. Just all go back to like subsistence farming.
I don't know if
modernity's a mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway, I say as we cast a video game competition on the internet. Just too easy and Hitman get a couple nice kills here. Hitman, hold on from the pillar. We were praising him. And he's going to find himself another. Finding the maneuvering as Jaspim just ate that flash. He was so blind. So very blind. D-Will's one and done. It's all on the Cynic. And he will be the next victim. So a really nice hold on towards B. And a lot of that credit's going to be due to Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman looking better and better as this BO3 goes on and helps his team get to a second round victory here. Gaimin Gladiators still have enough money to reinvest, and I just think Unjustified are getting good reads on their round victories, right? Not losing many bodies, and Gaimin Gladiators continue to walk into their crosshairs and try to take fights. That's just from the confidence they have in their own abilities, but at a certain point, kind of hope that they're going to approach it a little more cautiously in rounds like that. Flashbang is going to come through towards mid, and that will open up the space, which, I mean, technically Unjustified is giving them mid pretty much every single round. They're not fighting too much. Some presence in connector, but outside of that, it's just, here you go, guys. Fight us on the sites.
aggression coming in. Just too easy. He's walking right back into it. George was ready. George was holding. Gaimin Gladiators showing some patience, and Unjustified give him the kill they were hoping for. Smoke's going to go in, but again, Gaimin are fine to chill. They've still got time. There's plenty of time. Minute on the clock. They're going to group up in the apartments, and they are going to hit on towards B. Find the kill here. Hit. Don't overcomplicate things. That seems to be the read. Player working their way up catwalk. Jaspimp not going to be contested in this route either.
Nope.
So he gets all this ground for free. And it's going to be a save call from Unjustified. They're gambling.
I don't think they're saving.
I think they are. I think it's a full gamble. I think they're gonna pull a ripcord now.
I think definitely it was the full gamble. I think they were anticipating an A hit. That's what happened, and then they just went for the save now.
Yeah. Made a gamble. Coin flip play. Gamble from the wrong side. Yeah, Sloopy! Sloopy, don't die!
Might want to get out of that angle,
Don't
honestly.
die! Not after you miss the movement. Can't die after. Still, the hunt's going to be on for Gaimin. I'd love to take a gun out of the hands of Unjustified. Don't let them escape with nearly a full buy here. Gaimin Gladiators doing a good job of keeping the hurt on so far. Can they turn the screws? Ooh, time gets short. Time gets low. Jaspimp gets... That's it. And there's one. Only one.
No,
Acceptable loss.
yeah, at least they managed to keep 3 alive. That means they'll be able to reinvest into this round and take another crack at it. But yeah, I mean, I can't really blame them for going for the gamble stack. They figured, oh, well, maybe it's going to be a fake on to B, and we're just going to rotate around. We'll have numbers on the A site should they rotate, and if the gamble fails, you still have the guns. So Gaimin Gladiators, though, are starting to rack up the rounds. 7-2 in their favor as a timeout's going to be called here, presumably by Unjustified. Talking things over, seeing if they need to make an adjustment to their positioning. Maybe challenge a little more towards mid. They've been rotating that op around the entire map. The only place it hasn't posted up is window, so maybe Cyrix will try that on for size for a change.
Let's move here. Cyrix going for connector face, it seems. Perhaps. No, expecting the ramp play. No, there's the connector face. But he'll back right out of that immediately.
Yeah.
They're going to go for a little bit of aggressive posturing towards ramp. They have the setup for it, but Cyrix finds Cynic going fast in towards mid. That's a nice find early on because now there's only these players coming through. Cyrix connects on another. And now Sloopy's in on the fun, but they still haven't revealed his presence towards ramp, and Jaspimp isn't going to expect it. The smoke was still up. B-Wills comes through with the AWP, but he's got 3 more targets to find. His hold is going well for Unjustified. Talk about it in a second. B-Wills can pull out something wild here. Burning now. Push out of the corner, and Sloopy's got the lineup. That was a little disjointed for Gaimin, right? They tried to go really quick with it, but the problem is certain pieces of the hit were moving while the others were stuck. Yep. First, you have Cynic make the first move. He gets caught. Then you have the Palace players come out, but you still got B-Wills stuck in ramp, which works if you get the bomb plant, but because you haven't cleared the players close up, there's just a lot of unknowns in towards the site. A little disjointed there from the Gaimin Gladiators.
Still, a lot of credit to Cyrix, right? He hits a quick shot onto Cynic, and then in the open, like wide in the open, hits another one before he goes down. Honestly felt like he was just off balance and then managed to adjust himself to find that second one. And he's the difference maker in the round to help Unjustified close that one out. Of course, JS Feltner's position was kept to guys the entire time, so he was able to peek on forward from ramp side and take down the player. That was a firebox. Anyway, Unjustified do find a third, and they get the opener again here. Sloopy with the shot onto Carson. And now George just makes a little bit of noise down mid, tosses a Molotov into the window, but no one is there. Unjustified back to their patient play on the site proper. And again, Cyrix making an adjustment. He's back towards Ticket as opposed to Connector the round before. Gaimin Gladiators posturing for the A hit. They've got 2 on ramp, 2 on Connector. It's a good pincer. Thing is, they have to isolate Sloopy and Cyrix. Cyrix.
I think I expect the sandwich player is the other thing. JS
Yes.
Feldner, they haven't played this spot yet. There's the clear, but B-Will still loses the fight. Luke's been lost, so now they should have the sandwich player dead to rights.
There you go.
Decent damage done, but Cyrix has to back away. Never mind. Cyrix! Cyrix hits the second! So snappy with that scope, and Hitman comes in for the final blow. Cyrix! How does he stay alive there? That should be a one and fall away, but they just keep pressuring, and he just keeps delivering the kills.
Whew! Cyrix! Alrighty. He has come to play. 4th round picked up again. He's the key piece in determining victory. And now the Gaimin Gladiators, after a very torrid start, 7-2 run to kick off this map, they finally are relegated down to pistols only. It's going to be 2 Tech 9s, 3 Glocks, and a smoke. That's it in terms of their buy-up and in terms of pistols and utility. Jasmine does have some body armor. I'm not sure what difference that's going to make. B-Wills and George are going to get taken down immediately by JS Feltner. Just too easy doing work with him around mid onto Cynic. And this is the first time Unjustified have shown this type of aggression. And I guess they realized the economy was a little light for Gaimin, so they're abusing it. Only Carson left, and he's dead. Just too easy finds him.
Rocking out against the eco. Hungry for eco frags.
Yep.
That's what you got to do. Got to feast upon them. The junk food of Counter-Strike kills. They're so tasty. So tasty. Here comes a meat and potatoes round. Here's where the buys back up for the Gaimin Gladiators. And, well, we're coming to the closing moments of this half. Only 3 rounds left to play. For Gaimin, this would be a chance to right the ship momentum-wise. JS Feltner, what a poke out, but he is not going to be able to get away with that one. Saw tons of information given over. Just too easy. One. But here's Cyrix with the follow-ups. And Cyrix, again, is just a Grim Reaper right now on this server. That bomb dropped. You're absolutely right, John. Means that this is a hopeless situation. And Cyrix, who else will put the last shot through? Gaimin Gladiators, they wanted mid. And Unjustified had no interest in letting them get away with it this time. They've mostly given them a lot of space in towards mid. Not here, not now. The fight happens fast.
Cyrix is unpredictable, though, because they don't know where the op is going to be posted up since the beginning of this half. Don't forget, last time he was on ticket, so like maybe we can go up connector and find some space. No, now for the first time in this half, he's finally posting up in window, and he's been the reason why they've won the last 3 rounds. He's just been everywhere he needs to be, and it looks like the Gaimin Gladiators don't want to go for that mid fight this time, but, you know, still, they're handicapped. They've only got 3 Tech 9s, a Deagle, and a P250. A little bit of utility, 3 flashes and 2 smokes, which they will use for their execute onto the B site, presumably. But, this is quite the recovery from Unjustified. They mean business, Mike.
Comes the hit. Out comes the overwhelm. B-Wills gets 1. B-Wills gets a second. All right, Tech 9. Here's where they right this ship. Just B-Wills killing everybody with a tech. He's already 14-7, piecing his team and the server. And now with that bomb down, with these sightlines condensed, it doesn't really matter if they've got the gun disadvantage. They've got the numbers, and they can overwhelm. And you can see Unjustified even dropping their own Molotov just to clear corners. They don't want to go for this. They're not comfortable. Sloopy gets 1, but gets traded. A little bit more of a poke out, but they're running out of time. They got to go if they're going to do it. They got to go. Cyrix hits another shot, but that's going to be all she wrote. And that is the Gaimin Gladiators, at the very least, winning out the half.
In the round you least expected. They pick up the pieces and figure it out. Look, to be honest with you, I don't think B-Will should have gotten 2 in that situation. You got 2 A1Ss bearing down on him, and he still manages to connect. And it wasn't like they were quick shots. There was time in order to clean him out, and it just didn't happen. So just too easy to hit, man. Kind of left their team in a bit of a bad spot. And, well, that was the round. 15th and final round of play here of this first half of action. JS Feltner charging right up mid, and he's going to get rewarded for his risky attempt by finding the frag onto Cynic. Flashbang supporting his push, but now perhaps a step too far. Does back off in time for Cyrix to support him and get the op frag onto George. Cyrix continues to have a massive impact here in this first half.
That he does. Smokes on in. A little more of a dry execute. Problem is the bomb's actually top mid. So how are you going to group this up? Is Jasmine going to work his way down mid? He is indeed. Bit of a solo dolo play. Could get caught and punished by this catwalk player. But it has drawn focus away from him. Is the catwalk player around the corner? No. No, he's not. So this represents a prime opportunity as now Jasmine, they're going to go in for the jungle fight together. Jace Feldner has to swing, but he gets one. He gets one. That's the bomb confirmed as well. That's information given over. Still an advantage. No, never mind. 2-on-2. 35 seconds. Not a ton of time. Hitman just spotted Bebo slipping into the smoke. I think he spotted a leg. No, he's not focusing on it. He's got the kill. He's looking the right way. He's got the idea, and indeed he did have all the information. A nice clutch to end out the half 8-7. Eight to 7. Slim lead here for the Gaimin Gladiators, but up a map already, and now on their favored half, presumably. It seems like they are in a decent spot, but a fast play from Unjustified could quickly tip the scales of this particular half as George gets deleted. He was the hero of the pistol round in the last, and this time he won't even get to play a part. Carson, good shot. That bomb is going down, and Carson can't seem to isolate another head, and in fact, he's taking a lot of damage himself. Cynic out of play. Carson to follow. B-Wills needs to put in work here, and he's doing exactly that. He's alone. Against two. And they're not giving him an inch. They're going to wait for this tick. They're going to wait for that top. Oh, but he's going to go forth and create himself. It's all on the Sloopy now. A 1v1, a clutch on the table, and B-Wills without a kit needs to force this fight, needs to force this aggression. He's out of bullets, and Sloopy will punish. Really nice work from B-Wills, so close to pulling that off, but not the final kill.
Jeez, that was fantastic work from B-Wills, and just Sloopy lucky that B-Wills ran out of bullets, because I think the next one would have been a headshot. Either way, Unjustified do tie things up, and they recover here from a large deficit, down 7-2. They are on a 6-1 run. Not too shabby. As Unjustified will be able to reinvest into this round off that round victory, and Gaimin Gladiators, nothing. They're not even going for the force buy, which is a little unusual in the current meta. So CT stop for the full-on save here, but at least they have 2 flashbangs and the HE in their hands. Molotov going to get thrown at the feet of George, doesn't have a smoke to defuse it, and now we'll face the bullets of GS There's Mac 10. That said, Cynic from Cat does manage to get one before falling, but this should all be Unjustified, and it absolutely is. Cyrix, oh, this is a little scary. Jasmine gets one, and then Cyrix calms it down immediately, Mike, with 2 Glock kills.
The Glocks!
The Glocks!
A little bit messy, a little bit messy. A little bit of excitement, considering minimal investment from the Gaimin Gladiators. Really no investment. It does at least bode well for some damage. Gaimin Gladiators, though, here's where the rifles come out. As you said, staying away from that second round force that they usually have loved so very much. They go for the rifle round instead. Going to be a bit limited in the util. No kits either, so keep an eye on that if a retake comes to fruition. And it's going to be a fast play on towards A. Smokes A, the classic. B-Wills, though, he's here. He's only going to get one. He was also the only player who was in the site proper. His teammates all smoked off. That bomb is liable to be planted. And I think they'll move to make sure that happens.
Flashbang going to get thrown by Jas. Vampira is Sloopy. Just trying to stay alive beyond this smoke. 4v4 retake on hand here for the Gaimin Gladiators. Smoke going to get thrown down there for the ramp by Carson, but he gets cleaned up by Sloopy. Then just too easy follows up with the frag onto Jazz Pimp. Now only 2 players left standing for the Gaimin Gladiators. George and Cynic going to have to do a ton of work, and they don't have much time. They have to defuse this bomb, and I don't think they have a kit either. Oh no, they're going to just go down for nothing here. Cyrix gets the headshot onto Cynic, and George will likely be hunted. You see, just too easy was back in the jungle. Now he hears the footsteps, and he's going to try going to CT and clean out this last player. No, he won't get it. George is up to the task, but still, that's a 10th round coming through for Unjustified.
It's a great start to this half, for sure. Puts Gaimin on the back foot. And Unjustified going to take full advantage, going to continue the pressure. What kind of investment comes in around this on 4? Not much. Just spread the pistols out a little bit. Get some upgraded pistols. Armor, at least for B-Wills. He has, again, been a monster. I want to mention that. 20 kills through 18 rounds. He is pacing the server right now. With just a 5-7. Don't know how much he's going to get out of this one. We'll go looking. B-Wills on the prowl. Just too easy punishes.
No. Not happening this time. But Gaimin Gladiators do have 3 players on B,
Yeah, they got the stack. They got the right read. Unjustified have been playing, you know, site hit roulette, I would say. Pick a site, and they kind of go for it. And this time it'll work. Despite some initial casualties, it is just pistols, and just pistols will just not quite be enough.
Not at all. Unjustified have won quite a bit here in this second half. In fact, haven't lost a single round.
These are interesting, right? Because it's just very straightforward sight hits coming out of Unjustified.
It's the same thing as what happened at the beginning of Inferno, if you recall.
You're absolutely right. They haven't really defaulted yet. It's very early, but they've just been going for these faster plays to catch players off guard. Now, maybe we're seeing a little bit more pace get deployed. They try and contest a little bit top mid, but as I say that, they're going to mass in apartments. They've thrown a lot of util, maybe a bit of fakes, but they're not really leaving themselves open to option. Spying a player in apartments, how do they respond? Do they just want to isolate this fight on George? He's got support. I know they've got him tucked into the corner, but do they realize that Carson's here? Ooh, just too easy goes through the smoke, and it works! That's craziness! Carson trades it at the very least, does punish, and he's able to back away. And now, Unjustified, having been rebuffed at their first attempt, what are they going to do? What's the second read? What's the adjustment? What's the audible? Or do they just stick around and then execute B regardless?
I mean, that's what they did in Inferno back on that A site
That's what
hit,
they're
if
gonna
you
do.
remember, and they are going to stick around here. Carson does get the headshot onto JS Feltner. Now they're kind of stuck, though. Well, I don't know what they can do here. Yeah, Carson's going to peek out into 2 more. That's a 4 kill. Looking for the ace. Carson, can he get it? And no. Sloopy denies him the ace, but the round still goes the Gaimin Gladiators' way, and they finally get on the board here in the second half. I think just Unjustified stalled out there in the apartments. They just didn't know where to go and tried to wait it out, but the Gaimin Gladiators took the fight to them.
One read type of situation, right? We're going B. Oh, okay, we lost some guys. Hang on a bit, and then we're going B. Oh, Carson killed everybody? Rip.
Yep.
It is interesting. We'll see if this continues for Unjustified, but that definitely did feel like we called this strat in spawn, and we are going to execute this strat type of situation. Which has very much fallen out of favor with most teams competing at this level. You don't see a lot of it. Molly up. Feltner trying to get an entry here. Sim did have util in hand, but he's not punished. He's able to back away. The Op's in a pretty forward position here. And with this connector control now being taken, it's pressure on for the A-site player. Cynic chooses to stick around, trusting his smoke to a large degree, and maybe trusting it a little bit too much. Still, his teammate got a kill in mid that alleviates pressure on the site itself. And B-Wills now has an interesting spot, and they don't realize he's there. Big kill to find. He's going to get flanked out, but in the meantime, what chaos can he sow? And how can he reposition? They know they've got one tucked towards steps, and that guy's now down. So it's all to Sloopy. He's got nothing to play off of, and so, in fact, he will falter. Nice round win for the Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, very solid hold there of the A site. Just had the positioning, and B-Wills in particular overlooked. Similar to what happened when Unjustified were on their CT side when they had JS Feltner overlooked. Just they didn't realize that he was in that position, and then of course the Palace player comes out thinking he's safe, but anything but. So Gaimin Gladiators do string together a second in a row, and they relegate Unjustified to pistols only. Cynic gonna toss a Molotov early. He's going for the aggression. Not sure if it's a good idea, but I mean they're on an eco, so he does get 1, 2, 3, and then knifed. Oh! Just too easy. We'll at least get something to brag about out of that round, but it's Gaimin Gladiators fighting in the 11th, Mike.
Oh, man. Money made off of the knife, right?
Yes.
So let's see what the investment's going to be. 5,900. Still makes Cyrix buy his own op. This is my money. Get your own. Go knife someone yourself.
I mean, it would have been better for the team if he bought it for Cyrix, so Cyrix could have more utility, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know some teams do like to sacrifice the utility on the opera first, right? Because the idea is you want your opera to be scoped as much as possible. Sort of a philosophical decision. Speaking of philosophical decisions, what was that, Molly? Oh! Cyrus collects Carson on the edge of the smoke. That's a big pick to find early on, as once again Carson wanted to get aggressive in the apartments. What can George do, though? He's still towards the van. I don't know if they realize they haven't cleared him. Now they spot it, but he's going to take 2. It's a punish from Cyrus. But Jasper's worked his way out, and maybe out a little bit too far here, John. That bomb is likely to go down now. 2 players in market. All they can deny, but a Molotov will at least slow it down for the moment. Problem is, there's still plenty of moments for Unjustified to work with in this round.
Yeah. Well, Molotov's going to land onto the site here, and Sloopy will not really have to move too much. In fact, I guess it goes beyond his position. Does get tagged down to 76, but at this point, both Gaimin Gladiators players into market. I don't think they're going to push any further. Probably just going to call the save, and indeed, that is the case. And you have Jaspimp, B-Wills, and George above 3.5k. In fact, B-Wills and Jaspimp above 4k, but still, you don't want to throw away the big green. Save it over for the next round. And, well, even find a frag here. B-Wills waits long enough for just too easy to get a little impatient and finds one.
Bomb go boom. Unjustified take lead. Very difficult time for Gaimin Gladiators.
I mean, Unjustified are quite good. Seems like. I mean, like, let's just put it straight here.
And they're playing. Once you know what they're doing, they're pretty telegraphed.
Yes.
But the thing is, once they reveal what they're doing, they hit pretty quickly. So if you get caught off on that initial pick, they're just going to run into sight. There's not really a whole lot of hesitation there. So unless you either win the initial engagement or your second player in can immediately get the trade, they're just going to try and run over the site.
Yeah, or if you get a read or a tell or something that can let you stack 3 players on one site, then
The problem
there's
is,
a counter. But
even if you're like going for information pushes on the other side, they're going so quickly into a lot of these rounds that by the time your information push develops and you get the info that you want, they're probably already executing.
Yeah.
It's been very quick here. So for Gaimin, I mean, Molotovs, obviously the more stable utility you get, the better that's going to get. Because once those fast hits come through, you can drop the Mols, you can drop the smokes. But still does make them a little tricky to play with. I think as Gaimin get a better feel for it, we may see Unjustified counter some speed bumps. There's the peak. Whoa, Cynic, fortunate, I think, to not get punished there.
yeah,
He gave a lot of opportunities over to Cyrix, but they miss. Big kill for B-Wills. That drops the bomb. Means it's definitely going to be A. And they have to come through. And B-Wills, can he find any more from under the balcony? No, he cannot. Blown sky high. Pressure now on in a big way. It's a 4-on-4 site on the site. Fight on the site. Sight on the site indeed. Cynic with the shot. Takes a slim advantage for Unjustified, and now here's where they start to stall out. They've lost the numbers, and they're just getting disintegrated in towards the site.
and it's over just like that. Yeah. Well, as opposed to when they win that opening fight, when they lose it, it's an entirely different story. And even though they do lose the fight, they say, well, let's full send it anyway. And the Game Gladiators say, yes, please do, because we will kill you all. And they absolutely take their 12th round victory. Tied up again, 12-12. But at the very least, even though we're talking about Unjustified, as sometimes their plays become obvious, as time goes on their T side, still, they manage to find a way to recover. They stay in the halves, and they continue to be resilient against these Gaimin Gladiators. So, again, this is kind of trending the same way Inferno did. And now they're going to go for another quick hit, this time on the pistols. B-Wills is fully blinded. He's very exposed, needs to back off, and doesn't get away with his life. Cynic as well needs to be careful here. It looks like Unjustified are going to get the bomb planted soon. They picked up the ONS, and there's the plant. They're all stacked up, or 3 of them are, towards CT. 1 hanging around on the flank at ramp, but this is not the easiest of retakes for the Gaimin Gladiators, especially
Certainly
considering the A1S is in play.
Look at this double push as well through spawn. George is holding for it. Are they going to go all the way? Yeah, they're just going to do it. Straightforward, not going to hold for it.
He doesn't expect the second.
He's looking. But no, he doesn't seem to expect a second.
Yeah.
And that'll be just too easy, coming away with 2 kills as a result. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The patience works out as Carson in the clutch. He doesn't have time. He can't win this round. He does not have time. Even if he sticks, I don't think he has time. He just wanted to lure out the peak, and it's all over. Everybody's going down, but it's a win for Unjustified. And they just brought Tech 9s into that one.
That was bold, actually. Sorry, that was bold to push 2 players in towards the broken wall, right? Because, I mean, in most cases, you have 1 lurk come through, and that's it. And honestly, that's what Game Gladiators expected. 1 guy, okay, that's it. Let's turn around and have a peek. No one else, all right. But just too easy times that perfectly, gets the 2K, and that's what flips that round onto its head and gives Unjustified a lead again. 13-12. Gaimin Gladiators decide, you know what, we're forcing into this one. And here comes another quick hit from Unjustified. They just cannot be stopped. They've got their fingers pounded down on the W key. B-Wills gets 1, but traded out immediately by Sloopy. And Cynic's just like, I don't know if anyone's coming near me. And so I'm going to jump out of this window and just try to keep this off in play. As the bomb does go down so quickly. Again, Carson at Ticket could do some damage here, as he's looking to peer around the edge of the smoke, but doesn't spot anybody just yet. I see Cyrix. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
and Cyrix punishes.
He needed someone to distract Cyrix before that play came through, but the rest of the hit's a little bit slower than Carson. And now they're in a really tough spot, and they're gonna back away. They're gonna bail. They're gonna give 14 over to Unjustified Gaming. These fast, decisive takes are really catching Gaimin off guard. Right? They're just, once they're in, they're in. And yeah, sometimes they lose the picks. Sometimes they lose the picks and completely come to a shutout. But if it works, if they win the engagement or even go even on them, they've got the site and they're rocking through.
I mean, there's no hesitation at all. Like, they do not care. They are full sending every time. Once they commit to it, like you said, they just end up on the site one way or another, whether it's just dead bodies on the site or them actually planting the bomb is another story, but it seems like more often than not, it's getting that bomb planted very, very quickly. Now the Gaimin Gladiators, they took a risk in that previous round by going for the force buy. Luckily, they saved 3 guns over from the previous one. They got the op, importantly, in Cynic's hands still, and the A1S for Jazz Pimp. George has a FAMAS, but still okay.
Jazz has 12 assists. What a
Wow.
champion. 90 ADR. 15 and 17, which, like, yeah, but 12 assists. Man is putting down the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Most ADR on the server? Cyrix. Cyrix is tied with him. Interesting.
Cyrix has been just incredible.
He's been real good. Real good at the game. We're all good.
Mm-hmm.
Has certainly been the carry engine. B-Wheels is actually the highest frag total, though. Still been putting in work. Seems like we got a little bit of a pause here, as I guess we're having a little bit of a players having some interwebs issues. I think it's George again, just getting that one sorted out here, folks. We got a moment. We got a tick. We got some time here, John. Got some time.
Yes, we do.
What are we going to talk about in this time? I feel like I usually pose you the question, so you pose me a question this time, John.
Oh,
Putting you on the spot.
Oh, this is interesting. What do I ask Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll pose you a question that was posed to me, Mike, in MM when I was playing. Someone recognized me and said, "Hey, are you JRT? You cast with Mike?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he said, well, "Who do you think would win in a fight?" Mike, this is a legitimate question. I didn't have an answer to.
Who would win in a fight between the two of us?
Yes.
You asked me this the other day, and I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure. You got a lot of reach, man. You're tall. I don't think people realize how tall you are, because I didn't realize how tall you were until I saw you in person. You're very, very dang tall. I think I'm stockier than you are. So I think if I can like get you to the ground, I think I got it.
Okay.
But I think in the reach game, and I said it when you asked me and we weren't live, you got that tennis thickness. You play a lot of tennis, so the legs are powerful. But I think I got to get you off the legs, and then I think I got a good chance. So I don't know. I think we're a pretty even match in that I don't think either of us are natural fighters.
No, we're not. I think that's a pretty fair assessment, Mike, honestly.
I think that's the big issue here.
Once, the height advantage is there until you're on the ground, then, well, there you go.
So I want to say that I'd take it.
Okay.
But I don't really have strong feelings about that. Again, I don't think either of us are strong fighters.
I'd give it a 50-50, Mike.
Yeah.
Straight 50-50.
Yeah. It also depends. Is it like just like a... Like, I'm trying to think of the context in which...
Yeah, exactly. When would we be?
I think there would have to be something that made it like a life or death fight for it to really, you know... And I don't foresee a context where that happens.
We'll let chat speculate. Maybe they'll have some thoughts, right?
So it's going to be like, 40 years down the line where we've become like rock star style divas in the 80s in caster world. I don't know when that'll happen, but I think that's the scenario. And we're like, just, it's like a band style falling out type of situation. That's the only context I can think of.
Yeah.
This is Spinal Tap vibes. Have you seen this as Spinal Tap, John?
I have not.
Strong recommend. Here comes the hit, though, and nobody was home. Gaimin went with a gamble, and they went to the wrong site for it. So this bomb's going down, and there's a player coming up underpass, so might be time for some kills for Just Too Easy. He spotted one. He's being patient. Wants two. He's got two. There's the two. Cyrix goes one and dump at the swing back in for George. Almost looks like it's fruitful, but at this point, Cynic just has to save the AWP and get out of here.
Wow. What a take again by Unjustified. They just storm into the A site, and again, Gaimin Gladiators don't have an answer. Obviously, we're just trying to keep their economy in good shape, but
it's gone.
Still, the op is gone now. And, I mean, they have enough, Mike. They have enough for A1Ss, but the op is absolutely gone. Utility will be a little light, but look at this Unjustified. Map point for a second straight map.
Let's see if they can close it out this time, man.
Yes, that was the problem on Inferno. They had 2 chances. They couldn't do it. This time they have 1 more. They got 3.
3 chances and a better situation, right? The economy is even more brittle for the Gaimin Gladiators, I think, if they get started here. Feels like this Mirage T side has just been really dang good for Unjustified.
Yeah.
See if they can get going. Seems like they want to go in towards that B hit. Based on this posturing, right? Their early lean on the minimap has really given us the information about what they're going to do. Problem is they've been rocking A for so many rounds in a row here. And you can see Gaimin are a little loath to rotate. They got this triumvirate set up. And in the meantime, pressure's going to be on for Carson and George. Smoking towards bottom connector might allow for this rotate a bit more, and you're seeing it starting to come through, but they got to go now if they're going to be there in time to help. Good kill for George. Only gets 1. Damage done on the next. Carson can't find more. Aesthetic will collect. He's down for the count, trying to force his way in before that retake happened. This bomb is getting planted, and it's an advantage for Unjustified. They just need 2 more kills to put this away. Make that 1. Cyrix is delivering once more. Can Jazz Pimp clutch this out? He finds the first. Catches him blindsided, and that bomb's still not planted. They have to cross his vision. Jazz Pimp finds them all! Unjustified get caught out in the open, not expecting the late cat play, and Jazz Pimp delivers for his team.
I thought it was curtains. I thought it was like curtains.
It should have been curtains. All they have to do is have the bomb planted, and they don't have to fight him. But they take too long, too. They take too long, and they just try and swing and end it.
Jeez, man. Well,
I mean, that's inexperience perhaps coming through, is in trying to close these out. These big moments, these match points, that's where teams struggle.
Not to mention that here they decide to go conservatively and not go for the killing blow in round number 29. Instead, they invest into 3 MAC-10s, the Deagle, and the AK. Perhaps an opportunity for Gaimin Gladiators to get a 14th, and indeed, the first 2 frags and 3 go their way. Jaspim chimes in for another one, could get the last as well, but it is Sloopy at least connecting on the head of Jaspim. The thing is, he was also tagged and now finished off by George. That'll be that, a 14th picked up for the Gaimin Gladiators. And we're down to it again. Round number 30.
Overtime on deck. Oh, my goodness. Can Unjustified close it out this time, or will they see another match point slip through their fingers? Map point, rather. My goodness. Had so many opportunities in this game, in the series. Round. Can they close it here? B-Wills wants to get tight to the smoke. They want to come through. Are they going to wait the smoke? If they do, might get caught out, but they're trying to force the issue. That could be pressure on, and a re-smoke here sets them up beautifully. Meanwhile, they've lost the presence and connected. They've just got this ramp play, and this is where they've gotten into trouble, right? This was your initial call. You were going to go A. You were going to go A with the 1 connected player. You lost the connected player. So what's the adjustment? There's not a lot of utility left here for Unjustified. 2 mollies, a single flashbang, and an HE. And also a decoy. So they are audibling. They are changing up the play call. But now they're a man down. They've got nothing to show for it. They've got no information or control in towards mid. And it seems like they're going to fall in towards a pretty standard B play. But here's the thing. George has a Molotov, and they don't have a smoke.
Time is kind of tight too, because they're not exactly hightailing it towards the B site. By the time they get there and they set up their utility, probably under 30 seconds.
If this molly goes down, I think they win. Yep. I think they win. They have to force the issue. It's just going to be 1 high flash, and Carson's ahead of it. He even re-smokes.
This is bad.
They have to come out. They have to come through. Carson gets 1. Molly needs to go in. It's in. It'll segment players. It didn't actually keep them out, but George could just kill everybody at this point. And Sloopy, he doesn't have time. He doesn't have bodies. He doesn't have shots.
Nope.
It's just about all over. 10 seconds on the board, and his life will run out before the time expires. We're going to overtime. Well, again, we find ourselves in overtime. As regulation wasn't enough to finish it off for these two teams. Last time, it was Gaimin who managed to sneak it through in OT. They stand with the map win, and they could close things out here on Mirage, but Unjustified have been ferocious. It's been very boomer bust for Unjustified, right?
Yep.
Either the hit works, or they lose the round. There's not a lot of audibles. Not a lot of successful bailout plays, right? It's either the first look works well, or not so much.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Carpe Diem in
Old
seasons
Carpe,
past.
yeah.
Yes.
Old Carpe. That used to be their big problem. They moved away from it, and this time, look at the positioning. They've got him catwalk. No, into ladder. But it's completely unchecked. Gaimin don't know this. Ooh, are they aware that this is a possibility? They should be. But no one's checking it, which has me a bit nervous for them. Up catwalk come the players. Cynic hits a shot, and Carson a follow-up. Oh, Carson with that AWP. Both ops chiming in, and it's falling apart. Vaporized on site. Overtime comes through. They could get the double off up, and they can punish.
Beautiful double op setup coming through from the Gaimin Gladiators there, and they kick off OT with a round victory. And I mean, Unjustified have had 5 map points over 2 maps, and they haven't been able to get the win. So they're definitely going to look at the tape and say, guys, what could be done differently? How do we get our mid rounds to be more effective when our opening hits don't go well, so we can end these things in regulation instead of having to fight in overtime, potentially losing? Cynic gets 2. Oh my goodness, indeed. 2 in Palace. Quick shots coming through, and JS Feltner just too easy, and Cyrix aren't really in a position to get a trade at all. So now they have to wait for the smoke to dissipate here. And Cynic can find himself another one next, but not the frag. Jasmine there to wrap things up, though. 3K for Jazz and 17 for... Oh, excuse me.
One of those was Cynic.
Sorry.
2K for Jazz and Cynic also. So 3K for Jazz.
Completely thought the round was over because I didn't see the TK, but
accurate. No, Cyrix still survives, but it's a pretty hopeless situation. Jasmine just had to escort his comrade into the grave there. You know, I mean, that's a little bit of a throwback here for Gaimin Gladiators. It's been a while since we've expected a TK from them every game, but they don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
that one was an accidental TK.
That's why it caught me off guard so much. But Cyrix is indeed still standing. I got ahead of myself there. 40 seconds left in the round. He does have an opportunity to isolate some 1v1s here, but he has to hightail it on over to the A site because there's only 31 seconds left on the clock. Does have the utility to work with. And he's going to charge up with the Tech 9 in his hands. Now switches back to the op. Jasmine peeks and Cyrix takes him out. Trying to peek again. Gets the second one. Needs to find the plant, but B-Wills might be able to get this before he drops the bomb on the ground. And no plant for Cyrix. B-Wills will get that final frag and a 17th for Gaimin, despite a great effort from Cyrix.
Yeah, but a nifty shooting there, but not enough. It was a pretty dire situ. And he was dealt with handily. So Gaimin Gladiators looking to keep it clean here on their CT side of OT. See if they can lock it down. That double op's been potent. Cynic has been hit since the overtime period. And now up underpass goes George. So the aggressive play, a little bit of a hallmark game and play, and Cyrix is looking for it. George has been collected. That means that B site is soft, and they're reading this correctly. Carson's going to try and post up. Flashbangs might catch him off guard. He still wants the... What? He hits the collat! The full blinded collateral shot from Carson! And Unjustified, they're off the rails now. It's all falling apart. Just too easy. The lone survivor, his teammates torn asunder before his very eyes. And a curtain of smoke to warden him off from the site. Carson will find the last of 4K in the round. An absolutely unreasonable blinded shot from Carson just sends that one skittering off the rails.
Oh, goodness gracious me, Carson. I mean, that's the best way to recover from flashbang, right? You take one shot, and then you see on the kill feed that you got the call out. You got 2 for 1. And he just immediately follows up with another frag after that, and 4 on the round. Carson lighting it up with the big green. A clean sweep for the Gaimin Gladiators in the first half, and now they have 3 rounds in a row to close this one out again in overtime. And it feels like Gaimin Gladiators, once they get that momentum in the latter part of the second half, leading into OT anyways against Unjustified, Unjustified seem to run out of steam.
Yeah, they have. And I think part of it is just that they got readable, right? Gaimin realized, got a feel for the pace, got a feel for the tip-offs maybe that they're going towards either side. And since they were kind of a one-read team, it was, you know, they know what they're going to do. They're going to hit it. Once you figure out what they're going to do, or you figure out the ways to slow down their takes, there's not the next depth, right, on the T side. Still, there's a chance to make this work regardless. Here on the defense, Sloopy's picked up the secondary up. That's not something we saw him do in regulation. Obviously, that could be a financial decision, but this is a new look, so this is a change-up. So I don't know if JS Feltner's just already thrown all of his nades, but he has none, which is unusual. Well, seems to be working, though. If you just get a kill, I guess he just dumped everything in towards mid.
He dumped it all, yeah.
Went and got that kill. Got a player isolated top mid. Jaspin's in a tough spot here. 2 players looking for him. 2 players hunting for him. Meanwhile, Sloopy's connecting. The AWP delivering. And the mid player out of play. Gaimin are falling apart here. A 2v5 now required. Make that an ace clutch for B-Wills. He's getting rocked on out. First, he's hit the shot the second as well. They can't give him the fight. They don't need to. They have the bomb. They have the bomb down. Stop peeking him. Oof. But Cyrix will go for one last poke. And that one will be successful.
Just very eager for that round to end. We're Unjustified. I didn't want to give B-Wills a chance on forward, but you're right. There's no reason to be re-peeking. B-Wills could have found another head there, and then it would have been a 1v2. Maybe he could have found a way to get that bomb planted, maybe over to the B site. Anyway, look. Still a round victory for Unjustified, but they need to win 2 more just to stay alive here in both the map and the series. JS Feltner going to toss a nade on forward down mid, and it connects for about half health of damage onto Jaspimp, who will jump his way towards that mid box, but he is isolated and needs to be careful. The support will be coming soon. And JS Feltner is playing a lot more aggressively towards mid, by the way. We saw Unjustified be very passive, giving up mid to the Gaimin Gladiators round after round, but in the regulation on CT side in that first half. And this time, though, they really do want to challenge, it seems. Smoke going to get tossed there by the Gaimin Gladiators into window. 1:09 on the clock for their execute to get going. Bomb has been left in T-spawn as they're trying to find this space, and it looks like the player who will be grabbing it's B-Wills. The question is, where do they decide to go? They have full mid control, so B wouldn't necessarily be a bad play. They could smoke off window, but looks like, yeah, that's all they can smoke off because it's their last one. So connector very exposed. That makes B a lot less viable, at least up cat. And considering the bomb has just rotated around to ramp, this hit will come to A. A missed shot from Sloopy opens up some space for the Gaimin Gladiators to move in. Sloopy blinded now. Blind fires and still doesn't connect on anything. Cyrix will. He drops George. Jaspin trades it out, but he doesn't expect Feltner there as well. And that gives the advantage to Unjustified with only 27 seconds left in the round. Cynic finds Hitman, but can't finish him off. And that means that he has to try and chase, and he won't get anything. Carson, 1v3 clutch with 18 seconds left. No bomb on his back. This round is going to go the way of Unjustified. They've pulled off 2 in a row, Mike. And if they get a third, it will be double OT. Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Exactly, Inferno. Although, now Unjustified would like to right the ship on Inferno.
Yes.
They dropped this round last time. They got a chance to rewrite that history and take us to another overtime. See if they can do it. Double up. Everything you could want. All the pieces. They've been dropping extra guns for potential retakes in towards spawn, right? Extra weapons on the floor. An AUG. There's a negative. Yeah, Cyrix is just making
just
sure
everything.
He's going to spend all of the cash. Got all the money in the world. Mag 7 down. Everything you could possibly want. Here's the problem, though. Him doing that actually means that it'll take them more time to pick up the rifles. That could actually cause a problem. We'll see if it does. I will laugh very hard if that winds up costing them. But we'll find out. See what's going on here. 2 players in towards underpass. They're going to go for a little bit of a play in towards mid off of underpass. They'll hear the player catwalk. Just too easy. He's making a lot of noise there. What's he holding for? Cyrix is peering up mid. There's the bottom connector smoke. What's the read here for Gaimin? It's definitely a pinch on towards A, is at least the initial plan. Right now the players are coming up underpass. Are they going to catch someone here towards mid?
George has someone here.
He's not looking. He's not looking. Just too easy. He's down for the count. Now the boost in towards window comes. Cyrix is watching this, though. He's got to get it. The utility's out to make life difficult, and he's going to try and swing, and he hits it! Cyrix, you madman! He's flying into the fights once more, but they have conceded the A site. Still, they can shoot from range. Can that bomb get planted by Gaimin? Got flashes, but no more smokes. No more choke point covers. They're going to have to battle in towards Ticket to secure the rights to plant that bomb. Player close at hand. Hitman connects, and Sloopy will come in for the 1-2 punch. They're so close to doing this. It's all on to Carson now, and only 30 seconds left, and the bomb not planted. He's found the first. Found the first. The second as well. Carson could bail. 25 seconds. Does he have time? He's faked it. He's faked it. That means Sloopy's looking the wrong direction. But Hitman hasn't flinched. Hitman hasn't moved. And now that bomb's going down, and now Hitman knows. Now he's got the confirmation, but the spam doesn't pull him off. Carson can still win this. Carson is very much capable of it. 10 bullets in his gun. He's going to have to be good. He's going to have to be perfect. And he's got them. He's got the spot. He swings for the last. He wanted to end it there. Could have played with the clock, but he didn't. Wanted the last shot, and it doesn't work out. Very much down to the wire. But Unjustified will take us for a little bit more overtime.
Just a touch. Just a touch here.
Oh, man. You thought Carson had it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Gaimin Gladiators had it considering they had 3 chances to close it out, but they let it slip through their fingers, so double OT is inbound. Honestly, I do agree with you. Carson hit 2 impressive first rounds in the shots as well. Even the third was great, but he didn't have to fight. You're absolutely right. Could have waited around ramp and just bided his time, but he decides against it and really just wanted to end that round a little quicker than perhaps, I guess, Unjustified would have liked, because they want to stay in this one and try their luck in double OT. Wow. One way or another, Unjustified have impressed me immeasurably here tonight, more so than I expected by any means.
Certainly. Certainly. And I think even the issues that we're seeing, right, are things that more experience, more time together as a unit will fix. More time scrimming against a higher level competition will fix, and should fix quickly, right? They're very it's the strats themselves are working, the execution is working. It's the maybe installing a little bit more of a default in some situations, maybe installing a little bit more mid-round in situations, as opposed to just having an idea for exactly what you want to do out of spawn. That can come with experience, with maturity. And oh, go ahead, John.
No, I was just going to say, and technically it's only their 2nd season together.
Yeah. It definitely is. There's a lot of room for growth, and there's already a lot of promising play. And now we'll see if they can take that promising play and extend us to a 3rd map as they get another chance, another go-around. Smoke's in. This time there's one for Ticket. That was the fatal flaw of the last for Gaimin. Jasmine's nervous about getting spammed, but he will eventually plant that pass.
Yeah, 5v5 post plant coming through here. Sloopy peering on forward, looking at the sandwich where there is a player, just not visible. And they're going to go for this full-on retake very shortly. George continues to hold this angle, hoping that they're going to overlook it. Sloopy really wants a clear look on the sandwich, and he gets it! Finds the frag. 5v4. Carson waiting at Cat, gets one, but only one. And now the advantage for Unjustified on the retake here. They're going to have to make sure they clear Jasmine, but they don't! He gets 2! Makes it a 3v2, and then B-Wills finishes off the job. Gaimin Gladiators this time look a lot better on that initial hit, right? Because it felt like they were missing some utility. I think they were missing some utility on their attempted hit at the end of that first overtime. This time, everything's on point. Smoke's guysing off pretty much all angles, and Unjustified didn't even get a chance to get a frag before that bomb went down.
Tickle damage onto JS Feltner there. Nothing substantial yet. Minute 25. Gaimin have shown no face, but it seems like they want to contest top mid, and Jazz Pimp has collected. He's likely dead. Oh, no, he gets away with it. My goodness, thought he was going to be dead to rights. Thought he was going to be hemmed in there towards top mid. Instead, they're going to come chasing.
But they're pushing.
This could be bad. This could be bad. Just too easy. He's dead. Wanted to take that space, and now instead he's lost his life. This is looking a little catastrophic. Cyrix is going right back to the well as well. They continue to push. They continue to fight. Cyrix will win his duel. Be able to slip away. So the numbers have been evened up.
Mike, I'm surprised to see Cyrus go back to the op here in a 3v3. Double
Low.
op.
41 health.
Perhaps, but I would hope that I'd be more comfortable if it were me on CD side with a couple of A1Ss. In this situation, anyway.
Scope is here. It's ready for the apartments players to come out, but they've lost their bench presence. That is the one rifle. The retake is on. It's going to be the ops, and they're mollied out. So this bomb's going down, and there's nothing that can be done to deny it. They know catwalk's clear. They know they've got that space. And at this point, this is going to be a very tough retake. Sloopy's trying to get around. He's gotten the M4. So the rifle's now available. And he's adjusting his positioning. But that flash tips off that there's a player here.
And this one will too.
Certainly. Still has to clear it. Time's starting to become short. They've lost Cyrix. Had to force the issue. And Cynic will polish off the last. A 2-round lead here for Gaimin. They're just 2 rounds away from sealing the deal. From walking away with their first win of their first game of this Challenger season.
Gaimin Gladiators. Probably one of the toughest first matches they've had in a very long time. Usually they face off against these teams, against the teams that were promoted through relegation at the beginning of each and every season, but I don't remember a time when it turned out this way, this close. Just too easy. And we boost it up here onto the box at Cat. And Jasmine's just going to toss a quick flash on forward into the apartments. Gaimin Gladiators trying to get their second clean sweep in a half here in overtime. And Cynic waiting for a potential push to come through because Unjustified have certainly cranked up the aggression on their CT side here in overtime compared to regulation. Smoke going to be popped in window now, and Gaimin Gladiators are going to do what they've been allowed to, and both what they've been allowed to and what they've been good at here on Mirage is taking that mid control. Mike Nate's going to fly on through, and here they come from underpass. And they're going to go for an A hit as well simultaneously from that ramp. The nade does a little bit of damage onto B-Wills and Carson, but they're not too worse for the wear. They're going to try and flash Feltner, and finally he is, but he's just going to hold this space, and he's got a bit of a gap around left side of the smoke. He spots at the feet of Carson, then flicks into it to get B-Wills as well. George does respond onto Sloopy to make it a man advantage only here for Unjustified. Ooh, that's bold. That is a bold jump shot from Cyrix, and as a result, he gives up his position and a couple of players go down.
Might just make some bonkers plays. And, I mean, when they work, it looks bonkers. Cyrix is going to connect on that one, but now 2-on-2 with that bomb ticking away, and it's just going to be up to Hitman to keep them in this, to try and get them 1 round on their CT side in overtime. George down for the count, but the sandwich player will finish, and Cynic's got it. Another flawless first half of OT, but this time they did it on the other side, John.
Yeah.
Now they just need 1 to close out, and that double up was so oppressive from the Gaimin Gladiators. Can Unjustified Gaming run 3 more rounds in a row to keep their hopes alive here?
Oh, I mean, I want to say it's probably going to be harder than it was, you know, for them to pull it off in the first overtime. But especially, of course, Gaimin Gladiators going into their CT side, which has been quite good up to this point. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. They continue to surprise me, do this Unjustified Gaming squad.
They do. They do. I mean, they have that certain amount of it factor, clutchness. You know, just that drive, that push. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they get here. 1 more round. All that's needed for the Gaimin Gladiators to put this one away. So not quite maybe the welcome to Challengers League moment that we were anticipating.
Not at all.
It would be a heartbreaking loss. Match points in both maps. They couldn't close them out. And now, threat of being knocked out of this game. One more round, all they need. Cynic's got the first pick, though. He's got the first shot, and his presence on site, and the bodies are dropping. The faster play for Unjustified. They try and make it work, but it's red, it's held, it's eliminated. A flawless round for the Gaimin Gladiators, and they take the dub. They get that first win.